Do you want to build your first UX design case study in under 7 days? I've got a super simple step-by-step plan that you can start right now. You do not need a fancy degree or some certificates to be able to do this. The case study that you make can become the ticket to your first design opportunity. Hi, my name is Rohan Mishra. Over the past 1 decade, I went from being a lost engineering student to designing for some of the biggest startups, including Zomato, an urban company in India, and 50 plus startups all over the world. In this journey, I've also taught 10,000 plus designers and design aspirants to start and grow in their design career. So trust me, I know a few things about building a case study for your portfolio that gets you hired. For building this case study, we'll go about it day by day. For each day, I'm going to give you an action to take and a specific goal to hit. And by the end of these 7 days, you'll have a finished UX case study for your portfolio. So let's start with day 1, problem finding and selection. Day 1 is all about finding a problem that is worth solving. The action that you have to take is to brainstorm and list out 30 pet peeves, things that bother you, things that cause you problem. And I'm talking about all those small daily frustrations that you have on a day-to-day basis. Once you have all these 30 pet peeves and problems listed, you'll use this 7-parameter framework to score the top 5 ideas. So in the first column, you will enter the problems. In the second, does this problem consume a lot of time of yours? Does it waste a lot of money? You are spending a lot of money on this. Third, does it take a toll or does it bother you on a physical or a mental level? Are others also facing a similar problem? Will people pay for the solution? So the way to know that is they are already paying to solve this problem, right? Now, next is, are there competition for this thing? It could be direct competitor or an indirect competitor. Direct competitor is Swiggy versus Zomato, but indirect competitor of Zomato is going to be the radies and the small stalls that people put right outside office. These are the indirect competitors. And the last one, is it digitally solvable? Can you solve it for scale using an app or website or a dashboard or a SaaS product, right? So these are the parameters that we are going to essentially look at. By using this, you will vote in each of these columns, and by the end of it, you should have top 5 ideas. The mission is to select one problem that scores the highest and that you personally align with. And this will be the problem that you solve for this case study. Now, let's move on to day number 2. Time to stop guessing and start learning. Find and interview 3 to 5 people who you know are facing the same problem. Ask them open-ended questions about their experience of doing this thing currently, what challenges they are facing, what are the hacks they have figured out to do this. As you ask these questions, don't try to help them out, just let them talk. Your goal with this is to capture the core frustrations that they have, the challenges that they are facing, and get some powerful quotes from them that why this problem is a big enough problem for them. Now, you can use these insights to write a super specific problem statement using the formula who, like you will define the audience here, struggles with what is the problem, which leads to why, like which could be an emotion or long-term suffering, right? For example, a bachelor living in a tier 1 city away from their family struggles with getting the nutritious food on time, which leads them to have bad health and saving a lot of time deciding and spending money on platforms like Swiggy and all the other platforms. Now we come to day number 3. This is about ideation and low fidelity wireframing. The idea is the problems that you have identified, the frustrations that you have found, you now need to convert them into solutions, the ideas for solving that. It is where your creativity comes alive. Don't overthink it, just create. Grab a pen and paper, sketch out 10-15 different ideas about how you can solve the problem that people have mentioned. Now, the goal here at the first pass is to actually go with quantity. You want to create more number of ideas, not just one great idea. One great idea will come from a combination of a lot of these small ideas. Now, once you have done that, choose the parts of the different ideas that you have created, which you like, create a wireframe out of it. This will become your low fidelity wireframe. The goal here is to focus on the core flow and structure, not on colors, fonts, images that will be used. Now comes day 4. Day 4 is all about high fidelity design. In the day 3, the wireframe that you created, now the job is to make it look good. Day 4 is about bringing the solution to life visually. You ideally want to create the screens or the mock-ups for that and then prototype it as well. You will start with low fidelity to high fidelity conversion. You choose the 3 to 5 most important screens that is needed to solve the problem and convert it into high fidelity in Figma. You don't need to design the whole app, not the login screens, registration, forgot password, but the key screens to solve the problem. problem. Now the goal here is to have a clean, visually appealing design that clearly tells the story of your solution, that hey, this was the problem and this is the solution that I have created for it. Now make it look professional, easy on eyes. It should look clean and easy to understand what each and every screen does. Now you might have started prototyping in day 4, but you can utilize the day 5 time to prototype. The goal here is that these are just plain screens that you had. You have to make them interactive. You have to put life in them. It is all about connecting the dots. Quite literally, taking the dot from one and connecting it to another. Your task is to link entire high fidelity screens together in Figma. The idea is at the end of it, you have a highly interactive click-through prototype. So people can click on the buttons, they can actually see what's going on, they can scroll a bit, they can swipe between the things so that they're able to test out the flow. At the end, you should have a testable prototype in Figma that shows the main user journey start to finish. It should feel like a real app if somebody is using Figma Mirror to use the prototype, not just a few screens. Now comes day 6. Day 6 is all about user feedback. So we need to do usability testing and do the iterations on the basis of that. On day 6, we'll find out if the design actually works. People are able to understand it, right? So time for reality check. Show your prototype to 3 to 5 people. Ideally the people who you interviewed on day 2. Ask them to complete the main task without giving them help. Just tell them to complete the task and speak out loud what things are clear to them, what things are unclear to them, what they understand, what they don't understand, why they clicked on something, what did they expect to happen. Just watch, take notes, right? Your mission is to identify 1 to 2 key areas where people got confused and then make small impactful changes to improve the flow and make it much easier for them to understand. Now, with all of that, you have the project ready. Now comes the documentation part, which we'll spend day 7 on. So day 7 is all about documenting the entire process or documenting the case study. So we are almost at the finish line. So day 7 is about packaging your hard work into a story that you can tell. From going from identifying the problem to creating solutions for it, for designing high fidelity prototypes and then testing it with people and making iterations on the basis of that. Assemble everything that you have done in the week. Your research, problem statements, sketches, final screens, the feedback that you have received in one case study and create a story around it, which is very scannable. Put images of when you're talking to people, when you are doing testing, attach the prototype. A hiring manager should be able to understand the entire process with your skills in under 3 minutes, right? They are not going to give you more. So there you go. A full 7-day roadmap to build your first concept case study from absolutely scratch. And this case study proves that you can think, execute, and solve problems like a real designer. If you found this helpful, don't just sit around. Build your first case study, share it with people for feedback, improve the things, and share it till you get your first opportunity. If you found this helpful, like this video, share it with a designer friend who is just starting out, and subscribe to the channel for more such insightful videos.